How do you keep sales going when you don't have anything new, when you don't have anything special to talk about, when you're not launching, when you're not in the middle of sharing something new and special? What can you do to stay consistent and keep those sales consistent? Welcome to Explore Your Enthusiasm, episode 293 with me, Tara Swigert. Today, we're diving into making more consistent sales. So recently, a Starship Captain, Brenda, asked, I just launched a pattern last week and had a good amount of sales, but now what? So I'm going to share with you exactly what I told her so that you know, now what? Now, this is the second episode in a series about reaching your 2020 goals of increasing your sales. You can listen to the first episode, which was about launching, and I created a massive launch resource kit to go along with it. You can find them all at taraswigert.com/launch. Podcast episodes, checklists, spreadsheets, find it all, taraswigert.com/launch. And you can find today's show's notes at taraswigert.com/podcast 293. Whenever you go to that day's podcast episode, you will find everything that I'm saying written out along with links to everything that I mentioned. So you can always find the show notes at taraswigert.com/podcast and then that podcast number, so 293. Now let's get into it. What do you do to keep sales going? What do you do after a launch? The answer is really simple, okay? You send another email. Yes. You may have just sent 3 to 5 emails during your launch and now it's over, so get right back into it. Send an email, post on Instagram, do a live. Use the momentum that you created during your launch to establish a consistency you might not have had before. I know you're worried that your people won't want to hear from you too much, but you are wrong. They want to hear from you, even when you're not launching, especially when you're not launching. If they stuck through you through the launch, they are very interested in what you're doing. In fact, they are closer to buying now than they have ever been before. If not, they would have unsubscribed or they would have stopped opening, in which case they won't see your messages anyhow. And although I'm saying unsubscribed and stopped opening, this goes for your Instagram and your Facebook as well. They would have clicked away from you and gotten you out of their life if they didn't want to hear from you during the launch. So now trust that they want to be there and they want to hear from you. Maybe they just need some more information. Maybe they need to wait another month and then they'll be ready to buy. So always, always, always remember, you are talking to people who want to hear from you. If you don't believe that, you can't do any marketing. So you are talking to people who want to hear from you. So, what should you send? Well, if you have just had a launch that made more sales than usual, then your products are landing in the hands of your customers, which is what you should feature. Show those customers happily using and taking photos of and talking about their products. If you're a knitwear designer or a yarn maker, you can see your customer projects on Ravelry. If not, or if no one is sharing them yet, you can ask them to share. Better yet, you can incentivize them to share. Yeah. Offer them something in exchange for them sharing their photos, their projects, the picture of your pillow in their house, picture of your earrings on their face. Offer them something in exchange for them doing that. Maybe it's free shipping for the next 5 people who post a photo with your hashtag, or you host a giveaway and everyone who posts a photo and tags it gets entered to win. Now, before I go any further, let me say it's not ethical to incentivize reviews of your products. I am not saying that you should offer anybody anything in exchange for reviews, but you're incentivizing word of mouth, the thing that happens naturally when people talk and share your thing. So people sharing your product on their own social media while tagging you and using your hashtag. That's what we're talking about, not reviews on your website or on Amazon or on Etsy, just them sharing it, their use of it. Then what I want you to do when they're starting to share it is comment on every single one of those posts and ask the person who posted it if they give you permission to share it on your own account. That's it. I actually just saw this on a big influencer's page. She was using a product and the maker of that product left a comment and said, "We love this. Can we share it on our account?" She was like, "Absolutely." Another way to incentivize people sharing is to include a thing in your package that says, "Hey, post a picture of this and I'll send you a 10% off coupon code." Now, can you get that when you're shipping out thousands of weeks? No. But right now, if you have nobody sharing your product on their own Instagram, on their Ravelry, on their Facebook, you probably have a few enough sales that you can include something in their package and you can send out coupon codes when they share it. After you do that, you'll have customer images and stories to post, to share on your own platforms, to put in your own emails. Be sure that you are also collecting customer feedback when it's sent directly to you, whether it's via DM or whether it's email. Have a template that you send in response to nice emails. Mine says something like, "Thank you so much. This made my day. Would you mind if I shared it on my social media or website? I will tag you or link to you when I quote you." The testimonials in my business are sometimes private. If someone shares their sales numbers, they may not want me to share that with them publicly. So I also offer to post it anonymously, but most of you sell something that people are happy to talk about publicly. If I show a picture of your pillow on my chair, I'm going to want you to tag me that I took the photograph. I'm going to want that. If I show a picture of my face with your earrings, you tag me in sharing that. I'll be super, super excited to. Now, almost every time I've ever shared this strategy with a Starship Captain, the maker or designer is so nervous to do that. They are so nervous to either incentivize people sharing or to start asking their customers if they can quote them. They are certain that their customer will be offended or will not agree or will be upset. But you know what? That never happens. In every single case, the customer has been thrilled and even flattered. People love to talk about what they love. People love for you to feature them as an awesome example of someone using their product. Like, that is just exciting to most people. This is held true for every kind of product maker and service provider I've ever worked with. Tech editors, yarn shops, jewelry designers, glass artists, home decor brands, life coaches, knitwear designers. Your customers want to see you succeed, and they want to share their great experience they had with you with the world. Okay, so that is going to provide a new category of content, you sharing your customers' excitement. Every time you share a customer photo or quote, be sure you link to how a new buyer can get the thing. Don't leave that out. Now, another strategy that's easy to forget is to focus attention on your older, great products. All that attention and love and effort you poured into your new products, you can pour it into an older product. If you followed the directions for a great launch, then you know that it takes some time and thought to really highlight the benefits and what's valuable about your products. Of course, you should do this when you have a new product, but you should also give that attention and love to your older products. Answer the questions about benefits and values that I post in that launch plan over at taraswagger.com/launch, and then focus on communicating that for a week or two for one of your older things. Do the work to figure out the benefits and then communicate that. Dedicate yourself to communicating it for a week or two. A few years ago, I helped a knitwear designer increase her sales when she took a break from publishing new designs using this strategy. She was working on a book, so she couldn't be designing and selling new patterns. She was saving them for her book. So she went through her back catalog. She chose some customer projects to highlight. She wrote up what customers loved about the pattern, and she put her inspiration. And then she took all that for one old pattern per email and scheduled them to go out once every 2 weeks for 6 months. She was so surprised that very few of her email subscribers even knew she had these older patterns. She kept getting comments like, "Oh my gosh, I love the new design. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. How did I miss this?" And she's even more surprised that her overall sales increased while she wasn't actually working on her business at all. She was working on her new book. So that increase happened for a few reasons. She was being more consistent. Her readers were looking forward to her emails and her posts. Second reason is every time she sent an email about a new pattern, it reminded people to go on and buy the pattern that they already had in their cart. Maybe they were considering last month. Or they started to take a look at her back catalog or all the customer projects that had been made with her patterns. And also, the consistency and large back catalog of her work communicated trust and reliability, which built her brand's perceived value. People are willing to spend more money when they trust you, when you show that you are serious about what you're doing and you're going to keep showing up. If I worked with her nowadays, I would also add in scheduled Instagram posts highlighting the same patterns she was featuring in her emails. So she has it going out in both places because not everybody is on your email list or following your Instagram. Even though you may not be a designer, you may not be able to go to Ravelry and pull your customer projects there, please think through how you can apply this to your own business. This is absolutely applicable to you. You could feature older products, or you could do this with the craft shows that you've done over the last year. Do an email per show, or the retail shops you're in, or you can focus on your best sellers. So you can apply the strategy of going back and featuring older stuff or best sellers in your emails, in your Instagram accounts when you're not in the middle of launching something, and you're going to see increased sales overall. Now, the next strategy is to note what worked and do more of it. I know, right? That might sound really obvious, but take a minute to think. Do you really, truly keep track of what's working? Really working, not just how you feel about it, but what's actually getting results, and then purposefully reuse it or revisit the strategy. Here's what you can reuse. You can use the exact same strategies of like an email and Instagram post to this. You can use the same photos. You can use the same captions. You can use the same sales emails. You can use the same schedule. You can use the same so many things in your business. I know you're wondering, are people going to notice though? No. Not really. I use the same exact emails to launch the Starship every quarter, which is every 3 months, with only very few updates and tweaks, and they worked as well the second year as they did the first year of me using them. Why? How could that be? Because new people are seeing them every time. New people are coming to you, and they don't know what you used to do. They don't know what you used to send. They weren't on your email list. And if it is the same people, they haven't opened and read and looked at and memorized every single thing you've ever done. They don't know what you used to send. There are people who are watching me live stream this in the Starship right now that read those emails 3 or 4 times before they joined, and they might think, this sounds familiar, but they wouldn't have thought, this is the same freaking email. Never did it happen. And in fact, when I go back and look at my stats, because I can see my subscribers and what emails they opened, oftentimes buyers would open the exact same email, but 3 or 6 months apart, 2 to 3 times, and then choose to buy. The repetition was comforting. It built trust. It built reliability. And remember, everybody you're talking to is getting thousands of marketing messages a day, so they haven't memorized it. They haven't really soaked in. They don't know it until they see it a few times. So I'm not saying you should repeat it every day or every week, but with months in between, on Instagram, something like 6 to 9 months in between you using the same photo or the same caption, people are not going to know. And if you don't believe me and you think, well, Tara, your business is weird, go back and look at some of the biggest people on Instagram that you like, that you follow. Look at their profile and scroll back. And note how many times you'll see one of their most popular photos. The photos are doing well today. They know that because they did well 12 or 16 months ago. There are so many people who have a very consistent feed because they're literally reusing the same photos. Not 100% of their photos, they're putting in new photos too, but some of those photos that are less time sensitive, like ones of your workspace or your hands doing your craft or the picture of a beach that you visited or your snowy street. People are not going to know when you post that again in a year from now. Try it. You can also do more of what worked by looking at why it worked. Do pictures of your face do better? Take more of them. Are captions that are long or short do better? Do more of those. You can see all of this on whatever platform you're using. You can see your statistics or your insights. So in your email software, you will see your email stats of how many people opened and how many people clicked. You can also go back and see what's the email address of the person who bought and find them in your newsletter software and see what emails they opened and clicked on before they bought. You can also see this on Instagram on Insights, called Insights. You only have access to this if you have a business account. So go on and upgrade to a business account because it's totally worth it in order to see the insights. And then you can see those insights for each photo. You can see what are your photos with your best engagement. You can also see the photos that have the increased your follows, like you've gotten followers from them. And then when you click on the photo, you can see what did people do with it? How many people clicked from that to your profile link, which is probably what you want most people to do to head to your shop. What posts do you do that get people to click to your website? What posts do you do that get people to comment? And you want to look at what matters most to you and then do more of what generates what matters most to you. Above all, the way to keep sales going is to keep trying new things and old things, to not give up when you have a dry or slow month, to not get discouraged when you need to step back or take a break or something goes wrong. At the heart of this philosophy of what I'm teaching here today is to take responsibility, to realize that you have a job to do to increase sales. Etsy isn't going to do it. Instagram isn't going to do it. You have to figure it out what increases sales by learning and paying attention and trying and iterating and yes, failing. So it is very easy to say that sales are down because they're down across the board. Sales are down because of the election. You're going to hear a lot of that in the next year. Sales are down because of Brexit, or because Ravelry made a change, or because Etsy has this new policy. That might be true. But there are businesses who thrive in those exact same conditions in every single change. Giving up or blaming outside circumstances is not the way to grow. If you want to increase your sales, you need to stop paying attention to sales are decreasing because XYZ, and instead take responsibility for what you can control and let go of what you can't control. That is the way to reach your goal and increase sales, is for you to take full responsibility for increasing your sales and then doing stuff keeping track of what you're doing and what's working, and doing it again. Now, if you implement any of these strategies, I want to know about it. Let me know. I'm Tara Swiger over on Instagram. Be sure you also come and join our Facebook group where we can chat about these strategies and more. You can find that at facebook.com/groups/Tara Swiger, where you will find more makers and artists committed to making their dreams come true in 2020. Thank you so much for listening. I wish you a week full of extra sales, and I hope you have a very enthusiastic week.